Breaking news for investors and currency followers everywhere. Could the Iraqi dinar really shoot up to $4.25 if it floats? The internet is buzzing with this rumor today. It's spreading fast across forums, social media feeds, and private chats. Traders are watching every move closely as excitement hits new levels. The idea of a dinar float has taken over conversations, and people are asking what this could mean for their investments, their savings, and maybe even their lifestyle. In this update, we're going to look at why $4.25 is suddenly the number on everyone's lips. What's behind the chatter, and why the world's watching Iraq's next move. Dinar holders are fired up, swapping charts, debating outcomes, imagining what their lives could look like. If this talk becomes reality, that $4.25 figure has turned into the headline across every corner of the community, popping up in posts, tweets, videos, and live group chats. People aren't just casually mentioning it, they're fixated. They're running numbers, dreaming big, and picturing financial freedom. For many, this isn't just about money. It's about finally paying off debt, securing their families, or building the life they've always wanted. The buzz is so big because this rumor combines real financial speculation with the very human dream of life-changing opportunity. Holders feel energized, swapping strategies, arguing timelines, and imagining what a strong dinar would do for their futures. The big focus is the word float. Float means the dinar wouldn't be stuck at a fixed peg anymore. Instead, it would move with supply and demand in the market. Supporters say this makes sense for Iraq. Instead of a sudden massive revaluation, a float would give the currency space to rise naturally, step by step. That's why many think $4.25 is more realistic than wild overnight jump rumors. A gradual move would also give Iraq time to reinforce its financial systems, grow reserves, and connect more deeply with global markets. The idea of a float has gone viral because it suggests freedom. Freedom for the dinar to find its true market value, and maybe freedom for investors who've been holding on for years. Inside online forums, the discussions haven't stopped. Some people swear they've heard whispers from insiders that a float could be just around the corner. Others say it could still be months or even years before it happens. Charts are getting passed around non-stop, pointing to Iraq's growing oil revenue, foreign reserves, and banking upgrades. Every tiny announcement from Iraq's central bank is being picked apart. There's a strong sense of urgency, with people wanting to get their positions in place before anything official breaks. Even casual investors who usually don't check often are now glued to daily rate updates across YouTube, Twitter, and Telegram. The hot phrases are for $.25 float, dinar, rise, and market-driven value. And it's not just chatter. Investors are actually imagining how different their lives could look. Paying off mortgages, helping kids through school, taking dream vacations, or finally launching that business idea. The idea of financial freedom is so powerful that it's made this rumor spread like wildfire. The speculation also ties into Iraq's recent moves to modernize. In the last few years, the central bank has been working on better tech, stronger banking systems, tighter security, and improving global communication. To a lot of investors, these look like clear steps toward preparing for a float. A country needs smooth digital systems to handle big trading volumes, if its currency is going to compete globally, and each one of Iraq's upgrades is seen as another brick laid for the dinar's future. Some investors even think the float might not be a huge public event at first. They picture a quiet start, maybe the rate creeping up one morning and catching people off guard. Once demand kicks in, the climb could get faster, possibly heading toward $4.25 in stages. Smaller moves are easier for markets to handle, and they create less chaos. That's why many argue a slow float makes more sense than one huge overnight spike. This has sparked endless debates online, with people guessing whether the first moves will be small or dramatic. Of course, not everyone is all in on the hype. Some investors are reminding others that markets aren't one-way streets. A float doesn't guarantee the dinar will rocket up to $4.25. It could settle lower. It's maybe around $1 or a bit more, if demand doesn't match expectations. There are also risks if Iraq's reforms don't roll out smoothly. That's why cautious voices are stressing patience, smart positioning, and not letting excitement replace strategy. Even so, the overall energy remains positive. For many holders, even a modest rise in the dinar's value would be worth celebrating. It signals the possibility of bigger gains down the road. And that what-if factor, the dream of major wealth, keeps the community plugged in, talking and hopeful day after day. This whole conversation has also brought Iraq's natural resources and oil wealth into focus. Supporters argue that oil revenues give Iraq a strong foundation to back its currency at higher levels. If global demand for the dinar grows as countries diversify away from the US dollar, it could create powerful support for the $4.25 target. Some believe this isn't just about Iraq. It ties into the worldwide trend of de-dollarization. As more countries push to rely less on the dollar, Iraq could carve out a bigger role for its own currency. If Iraq manages to promote dinar use locally while also boosting international trade, confidence could rise even faster. Many investors see this as a unique chance for Iraq to build economic independence while strengthening global partnerships. That's why this rumor feels bigger than just a revaluation story. It's about reshaping currency power on the world stage. The excitement is also fueled by the possibility that a dinar float could shake up global finance. If the currency suddenly moves upward, it could challenge traditional power balances in trade. Investors discuss how regional partnerships and global markets might react. Suddenly, the $4.25 target becomes not just a dream for holders, but also a potential game changer in the financial system. Social media makes the hype grow even faster. Every new post, video, or chart draws in more people. Content creators are flooding platforms with their takes, feeding the fire. The mix of hope, fear of missing out, and possibility of massive profit keeps this story alive and spreading non-stop. Holders aren't just crunching numbers, they're dreaming about what they'd do if it happens. Buying land, investing in their kids' future, traveling, or starting businesses. For many, it's less about the currency itself and more about what it represents. Security, freedom, and a fresh start. That emotional pull makes the speculation even stronger. Even skeptics get dragged into the conversation because the what-if is too powerful to ignore. The $4.25 figure has become more than a rumor. It's a symbol of financial hope and a reminder that big change is possible. At the same time, Iraq's central bank continues taking steps that investors interpret as long-term preparation. They've pushed for more use of the dinar locally, rolled out stronger digital banking, and worked toward global integration. Each move gets dissected online as a potential clue. Supporters argue these upgrades are building a foundation for a currency that can move naturally in the market. For that reason, many see a gradual climb toward $4.25 as realistic. Investors track every development like detectives, creating forecasts and strategies to be ready for whatever comes next. Still, experts keep warning that volatility is part of the deal. A float means ups and downs, not just up. The dinar's path will depend on demand, reforms, and global trust. Some predict the first moves could be slow, giving investors time to adapt. Others think momentum could build quickly if confidence surges. Either way, the constant chatter, from charts to real-time updates, shows how deeply people are invested in this story. Zooming out, there's also the global trend of shifting away from the dollar. Iraq, with its oil and resources, could position the dinar as a stronger player over time. Investors are watching not just Iraq's domestic moves, but also how international partners respond. Every policy shift and trade deal gets analyzed. The conversation has expanded beyond Iraq. It's now about global currency dynamics. That's part of what makes the speculation so gripping. And of course, the debates don't stop there. Some people even suggest the dinar could climb past $4.25 under the right conditions. Hypothetical or not, these what-if scenarios keep the community buzzing. Forums are alive with people imagining the ripple effects from sudden shifts in wealth to broader global impacts. The idea that everyday people could be part of a major financial event only adds to the thrill. At the heart of it all, the dinar story is now cultural as much as financial. It's about hope, anticipation, and the shared dream of a better future. Investors around the globe are glued to every headline and every post waiting for signs of movement. The $4.25 rumor has become a rallying point, tying together speculation with real human emotion. For some, it's about potential profit. For others, it's about possibility, hope, and the belief that tomorrow could look completely different.